learn how to calculate minimum calculations, minimum cost calculations, minimum duration and associated cost calculations we have did. So I think many of you are not get it. So I will repeat certain extents carefully observe. Can you see the word file, students?
No, sir.
Okay, this is the one we have discussed in the last class. The sum that durations. So the crash durations or the minimum durations, right? Normally we have to apply the tables values. Directly you see the durations are given. Crash durations for A. That means crash means reduce, reducted durations. So it's activity A. It's become 4 to 2, 7 to 4. Right? 6 become 4 and 5 become 6. So that total durations has reduced, right? So therefore the extra cost for that normal cost is suppose 1,000 rupees for 4 days. When we are reducing is 2 days, then 2 days extra cost is additional 2,000 per day. It is the 1,000 rupees. So, but in this example, for easy understanding, I make it as a proportionate directly. So per day is the extra cost is 1,000 for all the activities, but it's not actually the realities. Okay, but you can easily understand it. That is the advantage of it. So then we are drawing a network diagram by using these crash durations that is shown here, right? So the activity A is the 2 days, B 4 days, and C 5 days, the black one. Nah? So ignore about the plus 2 like that. That is for the cost calculations. Just consider about only the letters are in black color, right? So that is 2, 2. This is a crash durations. And 5C is 5, B is 3, right? 5 and like that. We have found this total durations as 13 days, right? Now, the issue is we have to calculate the cost, right? Minimum. This is the 13 days, the minimum duration. We have to find the associated cost, right? In finding associated cost, right, you see in the table the total cost component, total cost component. So 40,000 normal cost. After crashing, the total cost becomes 54,000, right? So this 54,000, you see that overall 14,000 is additional cost, right? Normal duration for normal normal duration by considering the normal duration. Project duration is how many days? 20 days, right? The normal cost is 40,000. But after crashing, you can see that there's additional cost of this 14,000. That means 54 minus 40, additional cost is 40. Right? 54,000 minus 40, additional cost is 40. So while we are calculating the cost associated with these minimum durations, right? We have to carefully look into that whether some cost reductions are really needed, whether some activities cost reductions are really needed or not, right? Whether some activities cost reductions are really needed or not, we have to look into that. So in that line, so we know that critical activities are B, E, F, right? Critical activities are B, E, F, right? So therefore, mm, other activities, non-critical activities, sometimes we have reduced. Say for example, A, we have reduced 4 days as a 2 days. What is extra cost? Is a 2,000. You can see the table. Extra cost is 2,000. So you see extra cost is A. It's a non-critical activities. Normal duration is 2 days. We have reduced it as a 2 days. So extra cost is for 2 days, 2,000 rupees. So whether it's really needed, right? Whether it's now the question is whether this reduction is meaningful or really needed. Actually, if you see that in the normal diagrams, 20 days, A is a 4 days. If you look at the crash duration, if you add these 2 days again, right, I make it as a 4 days. 2 plus 2, this is 4. So here 4. So therefore, in this point, there is no any impact on that regarding durations. 4 days as 4 days. So the cost is increased. How much increased? Per day 1,000 rupees, 2 day 2,000 is increased. So therefore, out of this 14,000 extra increase, A 2,000 we have to consider about it. That's how this calculation is done. If 2,000 is there, so here A 2,000, right? Activity A 2,000 unnecessarily we have increased. So therefore, we have to again consider about it plus. Then if you look at other activities, say B, you see that according to the critical path, 4, now I'm doing for the crash duration, 4 plus 5, 9. D, already 5 days are there, we have reduced by, reduce 2 days and make it 3 days. So this is also unnecessary because you see again I am adding this activity, durations, here 4 plus 5, it's become 9. Otherwise it becomes 7, right? But it's not needed. So therefore, B, activity B, also there is a additional cost increase by 2,000, right? Then if you look at activity C, so the critical path is B, E is 9. So here we are reduced 1 days unnecessarily. So if you look at C carefully, there is a reduction is how many days? C, 6 days reduced by 5 days, only 1 day. So that 1,000 also unnecessary. So therefore we are adding this 1,000. C 1,000 rupees. Right? Now you see that C make then if you look at G, right here according to the network diagram, 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13. That is a critical part. But G also, you see that G, how many days are there? right? G, how many days are there already? G, 5 days normal duration. We have reduced 2 days, therefore 3 days is there. But if you look at G carefully, we cannot add all 2 days. Because if you add all 2 days, what will happen? What will happen? You see that 9 plus 5 is become 14. The critical path is changing, right? So therefore, that is not possible. So therefore, we can only add 1 day. That is the important thing. So therefore, G, you can see that G only 1000 rupees. Now, if you add all these components, which are in the non-critical path, so 2 plus 2 plus 1000 plus 1000, how much total? 6000, right? So therefore, total increasing is 14,000. Right? You see, 40,000 minus 15,000, 54,000, 14,000. Out of this 14,000, we have to reduce this 6,000. How much then? 14,000 minus 6,000. So otherwise, you can reduce this 54,000 minus 6,000. Both are correct, right? So 54,000 minus 6,000. Right? If you did that, 54,000 minus 6,000, how much? 48,000 plus what is the fixed cost? 13 days. 13 days multiplied by how much? Fixed cost how much per day?
1000.
1000. Then 13,000. Right? So that is about 13,000. So 13,000 plus 48,000, how much?
61,000.
1,000. Right?
61,000.
61,000. Then the cost is 61,000. Right? This is answer. Earlier, what I have did that. Right? You have found this 54,000 plus plus 13,000. Plus fixed cost 30,000. So that we have added. Then therefore it's about 67. 67,000 minus 6,000. That's how we got it. All the ways both are correct. 61,000. Right? So otherwise, you can take 54,000 minus 6,000, 48,000 plus this amount, that is also 61,000. That is also 61,000. Okay, right. So therefore, the crash duration, you have to carefully calculate the cost. First, you have to draw the network diagrams, find the minimum durations or the crash duration. Then you have to find the associated cost carefully by following this practice. Okay. Anything you want to clarify? Please ask me now, because I am going to move into next part of this network. Students, if you have any doubts, please ask me that. So therefore, if you are not asking, then I will consider you have understood that. Now, right, you see that the calculation part, one is we have completed normal durations of the projects, and normal cost of the project, right? So what is the normal durations? 20 days. What is the cost? What is the cost?
60,000.
60,000, no? Normal days, normal durations, 20 days, comma, normal cost, 60,000. Right? Normal cost, 60,000. Then second one is about minimum duration, minimum duration. How much minimum durations? 13 days. Its associated cost. The minimum duration associated cost. And its associated cost. How much? How much? 61,000. Right? 61,000 rupees. So now we are moving to third aspects. Minimum durations, minimum cost, minimum cost, right? How much? And its associated durations. Its associated durations. We have to find it. Right? Minimum duration, minimum cost and associated duration. We have to find it. Okay. So this is a little bit critical, right? You have to carefully understand. Very seriously, you have to pay your attention on that. Minimum cost, associated durations. Okay. So this work process, this calculation process, we have to start with the normal diagrams. Right? We have to start with the normal diagrams. Right? Normal diagrams. Right? So in the normal diagrams, how many paths we have identified? Normal diagram, how many paths we have identified?
10.
10 paths. Right? 10 paths we have identified. Okay? Right. So now, what we have to do that, I develop a table. You see that first of all we have to develop a table. I develop a table based on your words. Right? So I see that you can see that activities, path, CP, critical path, cost adjustment, and adjusted cost. So I divided this one as a 10. So I put it P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, do it up, P6, P7, P8, P9 and P10. Right? So that in the normal circumstance, normal duration, normal course, we have to start the work. The normal diagram. So that's why I put the normal. The P1, how many days? You have to say
4.
quickly, yeah? P1, how many days? P1. P1 durations. P1 durations. Path 1 duration. Okay. Path 1 duration is 15 days. Okay. Path 2. Path 2.
14 days.
14. Path 3.
17.
17 days. Path 8.
6.
Path 4.
16.
16. Path 5.
18.
18. Path 6.
17.
17. Path 7.
20. 20.
20. Path 8.
19.
19. Path 9.
20.
Path 9 also 20.
20.
12. 1, 2.
12.
12.
12, sir.
12. Okay. Then path 10.
11 days. 11.
11 days. Okay. For a normal diagrams, please check if I am making mistakes. You have to tell that the duration wise 15, 14, 17, 16. 15, 14, 17, 16. 15, 14, 17, 16. 18, 17, 20. 18, 17, 20. 19, 12, 11. 19, 12, 11. Right. Okay. So which is the critical path out of this? P1 or P2 or P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. Which is critical path?
P7.
P7.
P7. So you have to put here P7. Right? That is a critical path. P7. Cost adjustment, no. There is no any adjustment for the first time. What is the normal cost? Normal cost of this project, how much?
60,000.
60,000. Okay. Right. Now you have to carefully understand it. Right? Now I am going to do step by steps. Now you go back to the normal duration diagrams. Normal duration diagrams is here. How many days it takes? 20 days. Right? Out of these 20 days, think about it. The critical activities. Right? Critical activities are, we know that B, E, and F. So in the B, if you reduce 3 days is possible. B 3 days is possible to reduce. E 5 days, 2 days is possible to reduce. F 2 days is possible to reduce. Right? Because only you have to focus on this some 3 activities. A, E, F. Those are critical activities. Right? Those are critical activities. So if I make it B as where is B in this net normal duration diagrams? B is here. Right? B is 7 days. If I reduce it by 3 days, what will happen? think about if I reduce it by, because possible to reduce by B is 3 days possible, no? Note it somewhere. B is 7 to 4. Right? B is 7 to 4. Right? B is 7 to 4. B can reduce. Right? Think about what will happen if I reduce B 7 days as a 4 days. And if you think about what will happen if you reduce E from 7 to 5 days. What will happen if 6 to 4 days? What will happen? Right? So think about carefully one by one what will happen. Okay, students, what will happen if you reduce activity B from 7 normal duration 7, no, if you make it is 4, what will happen?
Normal duration will be reduced by 3 days.
Normal duration will be reduced by 3 days. Cost, what will happen to cost?
Cost will increase.
Increase how much?
3,000.
Only 3,000. Cost, you have to see two components are there. Fixed cost is there. Right? Fixed cost is there. Fixed cost also there, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So think, because if you are thinking only, you can understand it. That's why I'm asking. B, if you make it as 7 days in the reduced by 4 days, we can make it as a 4 days. 3 days we can reduce. So the cost will reduce by, activity cost will reduce by 3,000. Sorry, increase by 3,000. Right? Increase by 3,000. So you take B, right? B, how many days we can reduce? B, how many days we can reduce?
3 days.
3 days. Right? Now you see that now I am cutting this table and the top of it. These are the paths, no? Right. Now you see that the paths and tables are given. And also I put the normal duration diagram also. Easy for you to understand. Right? Right now you see that activity B is a critical activity. So we are reducing minus it by 3 days. Right? What will happen? What will happen? So it's become 4 days, no? Here it's become 4 days. Right? Not 7. Now it's become 4 days. Right? You see that? So 4 days. Right? So here also no problems, 4 days. 4 plus 5, 9 days. Here it's become 9 days. Here 7, it's become 9 days. It's become 4 plus 7, 11 days. 11 days. And 11 plus 6, how many days? 17 days. Right? 17. So here no problem, that is become 11 plus 5. 11 plus 5, that is about 16. So now is project duration become 17 days. What is the effect of the cost? Now you see that now in the part where B's are there, only these part 5, 6. You see the part number 5 is there, part number 6 B is there, part number 7 B is there, and part number 8 B is there. Now the changes will happen in this part. Part 5, part 1 no changes, 15 days. Part 2 no changes, 14 days. Part 7 no changes, 17 days. Part 4 also no changes, 16 days. Part 5, what is the changes will happen? It's become 18 minus 3 become 15. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the, yes, 15. Then part 6 also 17 minus 3, how much? 14.
14.
Yes. Then part 7, how much?
17.
17. Right? Part 7, 17. Part 8, how much?
16.
60.
16. Okay. Right. Part 9, no changes. There is no B in the part 9. And part 10 also no changes. Now you see how many critical paths are there. P7 and P3 also become as a critical path. So P7, comma, P3 also become now critical path. Now you can go back to the, now you can go back to figures. Now you see A, right? Path 3 is A, 4, 7, 11, 11 plus 8, 16. A dummy, E, F dummy also critical path. Two critical paths now have emerged. Okay. Did you understand this, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you cannot understand next. Okay. Now, what is the changes in the cost? Cost will increase by B is reduced by 3 days. Cost will increase by how much? Plus how much? 3,000. Why 3,000? Why 3,000? Why is this 3,000? Because per day 1,000. You go to table, you see normal durations. Cost per day how much? For the B, 7 days, we can make it as a 4 days. Yes, 1,000. Right? So 3 days, 3 into 1,000, how much? Cost will increase by how much?
3.
3,000. Cost will reduce by how much? Cost reduced by other side, fixed cost will be reduced by how much? Fixed cost will reduce by how much? Already fixed cost is also 1,000 per day, no? How much fixed cost? How much? 3,000. 1,000 per, that is also equal amount to the per unit. Therefore, cost will reduce by minus 3,000. So what is the net effect? Is there any changes in the cost? No. 60,000. Increase also same, decrease also same. So therefore no changes. Adjusted costs again 60,000. Now you see the project duration is reduced how many days? By 3 days, 17 days. Say think about the other critical activities B. After B, E. We have to check two activities E and F. E, if you take E, right? E, how many days we can reduce in E? How many days we can reduce in E?
2 days.
So go to the diagram, check about if you reduce E, what will happen? Whether it's possible to reduce 2 days. Whether it's possible to reduce 2 days. Check that. Whether it's possible to reduce 2 days. If you minus 2 days, what will happen? It's become as 5 days, no? Then 4 plus 5, how much?
9.
Huh? Here 4, here 5, right? 4
9.
plus 5,
9.
9 days. Okay, 9 days. So other path also 9 days. To D also it's 9 days. This path 6, no problem. So 9 plus 6, how much?
15 days. 15 days.
Right? So if you come this way, it's 14 days. G path is 14 days. So therefore here 15 days. Now project duration has become how much?
15 days.
15 days. What is the effect? In the table, you see, sorry, project duration now become as 15 days. Right? Now you see, where E is there? Path 3 is there. Path 4 is there. Path 7 is there. Path 8 is there. Right? Only 4 path is there. Right? Path 3. Right? Path 3. Path 4. Path 7 and path 8 is there. Right? So therefore these changes will happen. Right? So 2 days. So therefore path 1 no changes 15. Path 2 no changes 14. Path 3 2 days, no? Yes. So it's become 15 days. Path 4 how many days? 14 days. 16 minus 2 14 days. Path 5 no changes as it is 15 days. Path 6 also no changes 14 days. Path 7 how many days?
18 days.
No. Path 7 17 minus 2
15.
15. Path 8 16 minus 2
40.
Path 9 no problem, same. Path 12 also, path 10 also no problem, it's 11. So now you see the changes are taking place only path 3, right? Path 4, path 5 no 5, path 7 and path 8. Now which is the critical path? Now critical path, how many critical paths are there now?
4.
4.
Hmm?
4.
No, just now 4. Right? So changes has take place path 3, path 4, I make it in red color, path 4, 7 and 8. Now you see critical path how many? Here this is critical path, P1 critical path, P3 also become as a critical path, P5 also become as a critical path, P7 also become as a critical path. 4 critical paths are there. P1, P3, comma, right? P3, comma, P5, comma, P7, right? Now there are 4 critical paths. You can check with the diagram also same. What is the effect of the cost? Cost will increase by how much?
2000.
2000 reduced by reduction also how many? Because fixed cost is there. No? So now project duration 17 to become as 52 days. That is also 2000. Therefore no changes in the cost. That is again 60,000. Right? That is also again 60,000. Now you see that right? 4 critical path. Project duration is become as a 15. Right? Cost is 60,000. Now if you go back to again the one more critical activities are there earlier, no? Yes. If also how many days we can reduce?
2.
2. Then if you take this F2, what will happen? Check the diagram. F reduced by 2. Is it possible for reduction by 2? Can it reduce by 2? F? Minus 2. Minus 2, it's become as 9. 9 plus 4, how much? 30. That is not possible. Why? Did you understand why it is not possible? Did you understand why it is not possible? Because here 9 plus 5, how much?
14.
14. Right? 9 plus 5, 14. Right? 9 plus 5, 14. Right? So if you want to reduce here 2 days, here also we can reduce how many days? We can reduce how many days? Hmm?
1 day.
Huh?
1
1
day, sir.
day. 1 day, no? Yes,
Yes.
1 day is possible. Then if you reduce as 1 day, yes. So if you reduce 2 days, then it's become as 9 plus 4, 13 days. But here 9, right? So therefore first time we can reduce 1 day, right? Therefore it's a 9 plus 5, this is 14 days. This is also 14 days. We'll do that adjustment now. So in the table, so you cannot reduce. One, two, 3, 4, 5 places F is there. So therefore, you have to reduce 1 day only from this path. P1, comma P5, P7, and P9. Sorry?
Screen is not visible.
Now, can you see student now? Okay. So now you see F is there in P1 is there, P3 F is there, P5 F is there, P7 F is there, activity F is there, P7, then P9 also F is there. So all the places we have reduced by 1 day. So P1 is become as of 15 minus 1, 14. P3, P2 no changes. Right, P2 no changes as it is 14. Right, P3 15 minus 1 day, that is become 14. Right, P4 no changes, that's 14. P5 14, 15 minus 1 14. P7, P6 no changes, P7 14. P9 how much? P8 no changes. P9 become 11. 12 minus 1 11. P7 changes, and also last one no changes 11. Now you see the changes are taking place. Changes are taking place. P1, I make it a red one. P1 changes. P3 changes. P5 changes. P7 changes. And P11, sorry, P9 changes. Now you see how many critical paths now. Now is how many critical paths? P1 is a critical path, P2 also become critical path, 14, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. All are critical path. Up to P12, P12, P9 is a critical path. What is the effect of cost? Cost will increase by how much?
1000.
Yes, 1000 plus 1000 reduced by how much? Reduced by how much? Reduced by how much? Increase by 1000. Reduce also fixed cost is reduced by how much? Fixed cost also reduced by how much?
Thousands.
1000. But there are no changes in the cost, overall cost. Now you see that according to this one, there are one possibilities are there, right? I put it in that next one. So now you see in the network diagrams, here now it's 9 plus 5, 14, here dummy 14, here 9 plus 5, 14. But there are chance to reduce here also 1 day further, because 2 days are possible, no? G, how many days we can reduce? G, how many days we can reduce according to the table? G, is a non-critical activity. Okay. G is a non-critical activity. Is 2 days are possible to reduce, but only 1 day is possible. So what will happen if you reduce parallelly G 1 day and F 1 day? Think about G 1 day and F 1 day. What will happen? So the next attempt is F 1 day. That is possible, no? Comma. G 1 day. What will happen? F 1 day and G 1 day. What will happen? Hmm? The very important things. It's a very rare case. Only this sum is it happens. F 1 day, G 1 day. What will happen? Sorry. F 1 day and G 1 day. What will happen? Friends, think about F 1 day and G 1 day. Parallelly, if you reduce, what will happen? So you can go to diagram. You see that you already reduced 1 days. Another day is reduced. There's also 1 days. The cost wise, what will happen? Cost will increase by how much?
Two
Cost will,
thousand.
cost will reduce by how much? Cost will increase by 2000. So you see that if I am making adjustment here, G 1 day minus 1. Okay, but this is non-critical activities. Here now we make it as a 2 days. That means again minus 1. Huh? Again minus 1. Earlier minus 1, then second. Then therefore it's a 9 plus 4, 13. Is it okay? Here also 9 plus 4, 13. So cost will increase by here 1000, here 1000, 2000. Cost will increase by 1000. Here 1000, there 1000. So therefore it's become how much? Plus 2000. Cost will reduce by how much? Only 1000. Right? Only 1000. So the next effect is cost will increase or reduce. So overall cost 60,000 will what happen? It's become
61,000.
61,000. Cost will increase. Overall cost will increase. Therefore, we are not consider that option. Therefore, we are not consider these options. Right? Cost will increase. Cost will become as the same and the gains start to increase. That is not our objective, because why? We have to find it. We have to find it what? Minimum. We have to find it what, students? The minimum costs and associated durations. So minimum cost now how much? Minimum cost now how much? Minimum cost also now How much? 60,000. Associated duration, how much? Project duration, how much? Look at and say the network diagrams. How much? Hmm? The duration now,
13 days.
not 13, because these adjustments we are not accepted. Why?
14 days.
14 days.
It's the 14 days. This adjustment we are not accepted because cost will increase by 1,000 rupees. Therefore, we have make it as a 14 days. For your understanding, I make this adjustment and show that, but now it's a 14 days. So therefore, this is also accepted, not accepted. So I remove it. So therefore now, after making these adjustments, minimum cost 60,000. Associated durations 14 days. Right? So minimum cost 60,000, associate duration is 14 days. Okay, that's what this activity is. So now you see that three things: normal durations 20 days, that is also 60,000 cost. Crash duration, so minimum duration 13 days, cost is 61. Now minimum cost also 60, but we can reduce, complete the project how many days? How many days?
14 days.
14 days. Right? These three calculations you have to familiarize because all these will come for the exams. All will come for your exams. Okay. Right. Now is your time. Any doubts? Anything you want to ask from me? Please tell me that. Now you see that, students. Now you see this one is an analysis. Can you find this table? Okay. Now you see this is our analysis. The normal duration, normal cost 20 days. The total cost is 60,000. Direct cost, activities cost how much? 40,000. Right? How much is 40,000 from the table? Addition of all these things. You see that this one, this 40,000. Right? Project duration how much? Project duration. Friends, can you see that table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Project duration 20 days. Direct cost or activity cost. Direct cost or activity cost. Direct cost or activity cost. Right? Here fixed cost or indirect cost. Now you see that according to this example, normal duration is 20 days. Direct cost is a 40,000, summation of all activity cost. Fixed cost 20 into 1000. Sorry, 20 days into 1000. So that is about 20,000. Right? That is about 20,000. That is about 20,000. Right? 20,000 plus 40,000, total cost is 60,000. Right? Are you clear about it? The normal duration calculation process?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Then you see, hello? No doubt. So the crash duration and minimum durations, how many days? Crash duration, after crashing, we have drawn network diagram, find the minimum durations or crash durations, how much? 13 days. No, we have drawn the network diagram now already.
13 days.
13 days. That the total cost is 61,000. We got it. How we got this 61,000? 48,000. How we got this 48,000? Here 13,000 fixed cost because project duration is 13 days into 1000, right? 13 days into 1000, therefore 13 days into 1000, 13,000. Here how we got this 48,000? There are many ways you can interpret it. 54,000 altogether, there are 54,000 minus 6,000. Can you remember?
Yes, sir.
Right. 44,000 into 6,000 minus 6,000, that is 54,000 minus 6,000, that is 48,000. This is unnecessary reductions in the non-critical activities. Therefore, we make this adjustment. That's how we got 48,000 plus 30,000, 13,000, then 61,000 crash duration. Then the last one, minimum cost, that is we found is 60,000 because of this 40,000 fixed cost, 14,000 into 1000. Here 46,000. How it is get it 46,000? Right? You see that by reducing here additional 40,000 plus additional increase is 6,000. Right? Right? 40,000, 14,000 plus 46,000 because of increase in the critical activities. Right? So additional 6,000, 40 into additional 6,000 has increased. So that is 46,000 plus 14, that's become 60,000. But project duration is 14 days. So the associated duration is 14 days, minimum cost is 60,000. Alright, now you see that direct cost is increase. For the 7 days, 8,000 reduce fixed for 7,000. That is the changes. What happened to 20 days and 13 days? Right? That's why 8,000 increase, 7,000 reduction. That's why it's become 61,000. Carefully observe these changes, analysis. This is increase 8,000. This is reduce 7,000. So therefore, this become 61,000. That's become 61,000. Right? That's become 61,000. Right? 61,000, 8,000 increase in the direct cost and 7,000 reduction in fixed cost or indirect cost. That is about this. Okay. And also the minimum cost third calculation, you see that we are going by step process. Right? There is no changes in the cost. That is a 6,000, 60,000, 46,000. Because from 40 has to increase by 6,000 because you see the table how this 6,000 comes. This is 3 days, 5 days, 1 day, altogether 6 days. Per day 1,000. So therefore cost will increase from 40 to 46,000. This is about this 40 to 46,000. Because this 6,000 increases happen to see in the table. Here 3 days, here 2 days, 5 days, here 1 day. Per day 1,000. So therefore, while we are reducing durations, cost will increase. But fixed cost, you see that here 20,000, here 20,000 in a normal circumstance. Then here it's become as a, here also you see differences is 6,000. 20,000 minus 14, 6,000. 6,000 reductions. Here 6,000 increase. 40 to 46. So here therefore no changes. That's how it's given 6,000 increase, 6,000 reductions. So no changes. So therefore 14 days, 60. So which is appropriate for you? Decision making. 20 days, 60,000, 13 days, 61,000, 14 days, 60,000. Which one? Right? Relatively, 14 days, 60,000 is so positive, no? 14 days, 60,000 is so positive. $14 days, 60,000 is positive. Because why? Normal duration 20 days, 60,000, 14 days, 60,000. So if you want to complete this 13 days, you have to go for 61,000. So you see how time and cost are bargaining each other, right? The time we have to complete the very short period of time, then cost will increase, right? So in this example, these are the scenario you have to understand. All these things will come for exams, but this is relatively easiest one because you see that for easy understanding, I make these examples as a very easiest one because the cost law right? If you look at the table, Ola 1000, fixed cost also 1000, here also per day cost is 1000. So therefore you are very lucky and you can easily understand it because that easiness is there, right? Otherwise you have a lot of trouble, right? Whether increase or reduce, Ola in same rate, 1000 rupees. So therefore you can easily manage it. But if you are different rate, increase and reductions, you have to carefully deal with that. Students, I got it. Any doubts, please tell me. Please ask me, right? Otherwise, in the next sum, you will struggle. Students, please. Are you here? Hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So then we can go for next example. Okay. Okay, students, take these examples. Can you see this one, students? Students, can you see this table?
Yes, sir.
Just take down all these values. Activities, preceding activities, normal duration in days, crash durations, normal cost, cost log, additional costs, number of days reduced. Take down quickly, yeah? Hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now you see this details. The activities. How many activities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 activities are there. Earlier one, 7, no? Earlier example, 7 activities. Now it's 11 activities. Now you see that all these informations, full set of informations are given, right? Activities are given. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. The preceding activities, A, no activities preceding activity, B also no, E also no, other activities F, comma D, C, F, comma D, for D, B, for F, A, G, B, and H, Y, K, J, E, and K, G, comma J, right? Normal duration in days, 8 days, 16 days, 6 days, 10 days, 14 days, 32 days, 24 days, 20 days, 10 days, 16 days, 22 days. Crash duration 6 days, 12 days, 4 days, 8 days, 10 days, 18 days, 16 days, again 16 days.
Sir,
Yes, 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 students. Go ahead.
voice is not audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Hello, students. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's about 16 days and 8 days, 14 days, and 16 days. Okay. So the normal cost is given as in rupees 1,600, 2,400, 4,000, 3,000, 36, 3,600, 1,200, 1,028, 38, 56, 46 total. And also you see the additional information, the cost slope is a 10% of the normal cost, right? So therefore you see here activity A reduced by 2 days. The cost slope 10% means per day, that is 160. 160 multiplied by 2, the additional cost for crashing is 320, right? So additional cost for this is separately given. So otherwise 1,600 plus 320, 1,920 should be, right? But it's separately given. Number of days reduced 2 days, right? For the second one, 16 reduced by 12, right? 16 days reduced by 12. The 4 days reduced. The cost slope is 10%, therefore the normal cost, 10% of the normal cost, then 240, that has to be multiplied by 4 days, extra cost is 960 rupees. Now you see the cost slope is deviate, right? Even though it's a 10% from the normal cost, for the normal cost component it is deviates. For the C, you can see this 4,000, 10% is 400, 2 days, additional cost is 800, right? Additional cost is 800. And for that D, you can see it's 3,000. Additional cost is 2 days. Per day is 300 for slope. Is 3,000, 10% is 300. So therefore it's extra 600. For E, 4 days, right? It's multiplied by 1,440, 4 days reduced. But if you can see 32 reduced as 18 days. So 120 into 14 days, extra cost is 1,680. But number of days reduced 14. Right? Number of days reduced 14. Right? And also G, 8, H, 4 days, I, 2 days, J, 2 days, and also K is 6 days. Because 22 reduced as 16. Right? So therefore altogether, right, altogether there are how many days reduced per day is given. The extra cost is 13,000, 12,360. Normal cost is given separately, right? So then the first example and second examples are totally different. You have to carefully look at the cost slope for the first examples, all are same, 1,000 rupees, right? The fixed cost is 300, right? Fixed cost also 300. Take down. The fixed cost is 300. Fixed cost or indirect cost per day is 300. Okay. So now you have to understand this first problem, right? So in a project, these are the activities, these are the preceding activities, these are the normal durations, right? Now, first do it, first draw the network diagram, first draw the network diagram. Right? Please draw the network diagram first. So while you are drawing this diagram, you have to carefully look into that the A, B, F, E. There is no preceding activity starting from 0. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Please ask me. Yeah? You can draw it within 5 minutes. Quickly do it.